All right, now basically what this does is it allows you to find any and all of your angles and any and all of your sides of any triangle, and it doesn't have to be a right triangle. Okay, up to now, you know a squared plus b squared equals c squared. That helps you find a missing side of a right triangle. All right, and you know just from middle school geometry what the three angles in a triangle add up to 180 degrees. That's still true no matter what triangle you have. All right, but if you have some triangle that's not a right triangle, you have to have a way to find the missing sides. So you can use law of sines. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to draw a random triangle here. Even if it might look like a right triangle, it was not my intention. All right, so we've got like triangle ABC. All right, now notice that the vertex from geometry, remember capital letters on your vertexes. Okay, in geometry, the other thing you did was you labeled sides by lowercase letters. And if this was angle A, the side across from it was little a. Okay, so if this is angle B, the side across from B then would be little b. And then if this is angle C, capital C, the side across from it would be little c. Okay, so basically that's going to be our general picture every time. And they're just going to give you probably three pieces of information. They might give you two angles and a side. They might give you two sides and an angle. All right, they're going to give you some combination. They're going to ask you to solve the triangle, find all the other missing parts. That's all they're going to do. Now, in most books, you find the formula written like this. Sine of capital A, so sine of the angle A over side A. And then is equal to, because I said we're going to be doing proportions, well, there's a fraction, set it equal to sine of angle B over little b. All right, and then obviously we've got two angles and we've used them so far, made a little proportion here. We could do another one and we could say sine C over little c. Now, you're going to write a proportion. A proportion does not have three things in it like that, but a lot of times you'll see the formula written like this. Based on what information they give you, you might know enough information about A and B to be able to use those two fractions, write a proportion for everything except for one missing part, cross multiply down, solve. All right, so the math here is literally middle school math, cross multiply down, solve. They might give you enough information for, B and C, angle B, angle C. All right, so you might write that proportion, or if they give you information for A and C, you would set these two fractions equal. So you pick based on the problem that you're given, okay? That's basically all there is to this. And straightforward, really simple math. Okay, now let's suppose we have, let's see if I can come up with a different one. They're not going to give you a picture, but I'm going to recommend that you draw a picture. Let's say that they tell you angle A is 48 degrees and angle B is 57 degrees, and then little b side is 47. Okay, so they're going to give you probably three pieces of information. All right, now I would not worry about trying to draw anything to scale. You just need to have your A's and your B's and your C's all lined up. So I would just I generally draw a triangle that pretty much looks like that every time. It doesn't matter. You can draw any type of triangle you want. All right, label one of them A, label one of your vertexes B, label the other one C. All right, and then let's emphasize this is not drawn to scale. Okay, it's not drawn to scale. You're just random triangle. Let's put on the information they give us. Angle A is 48, so I'm going to put a 48 where A is. B is 57, so I'm going to put 57 degrees in there. And they've given me little b side, so that's the side across from angle B, so then they've given me that. And basically it's going to say, the directions are going to say solve, find all the missing parts of the triangle that you can. All right, now that means I've got one angle I got to find, and I've got two missing sides I've got to find. Okay, now the angle, in this case, since they gave you 2 out of the 3 angles, all right, think middle school math, the 3 angles in a triangle add up to how many degrees? 180. Okay, so finding angle C, super easy. Okay, so if I want to find angle C, I'm going to go ahead and write the math down. Most of you can just do it on your calculator, but you would add 48 and 57. All right, you'd add that up. I think that's going to be 105. I'm going to check my math. And then 180 minus 105 should leave 75. Did I do the math right? Okay, so that was pretty simple. And then I would just come back up. All right, you can list them individually, or you could just put it on your little drawing. I did it in a different color there so it stands out. So I've done that straight off the bat. So I didn't even have to use the law of science to do that. Okay, now, they have given me angle B and side B. That's what you want to look for. You want to look for an angle and the corresponding sides. And then if you have that for B or A or C, that definitely is going to be part of your proportion that you're always going to use. All right, now let's say that I want to find side A because I don't know that one. All right, I have to use B because it has both the angle and the side. So I'm going to write, let's see, I said I wanted to find A. So let's say we're finding little a. We're going to find little a, side A. So then I'm definitely going to use sine of B over little b because they gave me those 2 values. All right, they also gave me the angle for A, sine of angle A, but I'm trying to find little a. Okay, so I'm trying to find the little a. And I can fill in all of those numbers except for little a because that's what I'm trying to do. All right, so it would be sine of 57 degrees over 47. And then sine of my A is 48 degrees. And then over little a, because that's what I'm trying to solve for, is the little a. And then the math, cross multiply down. You did this in middle school when they were just plain fractions like 3/4 over 7 over x. Okay, but same concept. I'm going to cross multiply down. So I'm going to multiply these 2 things. 47 times sine of that 48 degrees. I'm going to multiply sine of 57 degrees in A. So sine of 57 degrees and then times A. And then you know how to solve for A, right? If it's sine of 57 degrees times A, you would divide both sides by A. So then, or divide by A. Divide by sine of 57. I don't know why I said A. And then those 2 cross out over there, which is what we want to happen. So that means I'm going to punch in my calculator. A is equal to 47 sine 48 degrees all over sine of 57 degrees. All right, you make sure your calculator is in degree mode. Make sure you're in degree mode. I need a fraction. In my top of my fraction, I need a 47. Then I need a sine of 48. I am in degree mode, so I'm good. And then I need a sine of 57 on the bottom. So literally, it's nothing more than plug the darn thing in. I could probably zoom in a little bit. Y'all can plug that in your calculator, though, I'm pretty sure. I haven't hit equal yet. All right, when I hit equal, everybody get 41.6? Okay, so side A is approximately, because now we got a round, and then whatever your book tells you to round to, 41.6. And you can leave it there, or you can put it on the diagram. If you're doing it paper pencil, I would probably put it on the diagram. So side little a is 41.6. And then we're going to write another proportion. We're going to find side C. All right, now, that right there, that 41.6 is a rounded value. So I do not want to use sine of A over little a when I write the next proportion, because this is a rounded value. And if you round in the middle of the problem, it's going to throw it off. So if I use 41.6 as opposed to that great big long number that was in the calculator, that means side C is going to be way off. I don't want it to be way off. So when I go to find little side C, I want to stick with sine B over B. I want to stick with the two numbers that they gave me. So I definitely want sine of B over little b. And then now if I'm trying to find side C, yes, we found side or angle C there, but it's not a rounded value or anything, because add them up, subtract from 180, it gave us the exact value. So sine C over little c. All right, so again, I'm trying to find side C right there. But then it's no more than what we just did a minute ago. You're going to cross multiply down, plug the numbers in, then cross multiply down. So this side will stay sine of 57 degrees over 47. Sine of C, C is 75, so sine of 75 degrees over C. After a while, you get really good at solving that equation, and then you may be able to look straight at this and be able to put it directly in your calculator, because you're multiplying these two and dividing by the sine of 57. Okay, so if I cross multiply down, I'd have a 47. Sine of 75 degrees is equal to that sine 57 degrees times C. Divide both sides by sine of 57. So you're putting in your calculator 47 sine of 75 degrees all over sine of 57. I would put it in, see if you can come up with what it is, just to make sure you're using your calculator right. 47 sine 75 sine 57. Make sure you're in degree mode. Punch it in, see what you get. I got 54 point, if I just go out to the nearest tenth, 54.1. Somebody check and verify me, make sure I did that right. Anybody else get that? Okay. So do we agree that this is not, the math is not too hard? It's right in a proportion, cross multiplying down. All right, and then this here for find, if they give you two of the angles, then you're going to add them up and divide by 2. There's nothing that says they're going to give you two angles. They could give you an angle and two sides instead.